Right, welcome to Drawing with Bruce. Today I'm going to draw a dragon. And so, well, first of all, we're going to do is just draw a little circle here where we'll draw his head. And the dragon's got a big long neck, so, well, and of course a dragon, nobody knows what a dragon looks like. So you can make them up as you go. And I'll have its body coming down here, and maybe have a tail disappear up over here, depending on what you can actually sort of see in the, yep. Just for some reason is not fitting in perfectly, so I'll just adjust there so we can see it a bit better. Okay, and now if I start with the head, and this is real cartoon sort of stuff, so if I start with the head and I draw a little eye there, another eye here, and his mouth open, I'm going to give him that sort of look. And a dragon being a dragon, they can have ears, or I might turn that into fins or whatever. You can start to see the dragons take shape, but I'll start with his eye first. I want to turn this into a sort of a dragon. He's breathing out fire, so he doesn't have a very happy expression on his face. He's out there doing whatever it is dragons do. And I'll get this big eye back here, so it's his eyelid. Now, as you draw, even though you're doing a cartoon, still think about lights and darks. So you know it's going to be darker underneath the eyelid and the eyebrow to make that darker. And the other thing I'm going to do too is, even though it's a dragon, we kind of want to give it more of a human type eye rather than a dragon eye, because we'll understand the expression better as a human eye. So, and that's what I often do if I'm drawing animals. I'm trying to make them look more human-like in terms of the expressions. You have to adjust the eyes to make them look vaguely more humanoid. And then you have the eye that starts to make a bit more sense. Now, be prepared to do it quite dark in some areas, particularly the pupil, because that's the darkest part of the picture. Now, as you go along here, I'm just going to give it a sense of shading in there. You give him his nose over here, and a little bit of shading underneath there where his teeth are going to go. Now give it some teeth. And we're going to make it breathe fire out of his mouth, so with those just strokes, it looks like it could be fire. And bottom teeth as well. And coming out there now, but just do a bit of shading inside the mouth as well. Just give a sense that the mouth is actually open. Put a reflected light over here, and we'll give this dragon, make like a water dragon, because it's sort of ears that are actually made up of fins, like a fish. And do the ones at the back as well, on the other side. Given that these ones on the other side, we shade it in a bit more because it looks like they're behind. So you've got a dragon's face that starts to look a little bit like a dragon. Now his neck, I'm just going to give some scales like that, and shade in behind the fins there and just below here, because that gives a three-dimensional look. And then his neck coming through here. Now the other thing too is you can worry about some scales and scoots and whatever if you like. Just little bumpy things here. Smudge with your finger if you like as well. If you're trying to draw quite quickly, that kind of have to do that sometimes. And the other thing too is the dragon's got some wings. So at this point, because it's a cartoon, I'm not going to worry about making it big wings because it won't fit in the page. So we'll just give it these little wings coming back on itself. Again, just a little bit sense of shading in to give it that three-dimensional sort of look and to make it look vaguely more alive. Right, as it comes back here, we can see the things behind. Right, now, arm, make it look like it belongs as part of this dragon, so I'll make the shoulder look like it's coming out of this dragon's body. give it these little arms, like almost like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And I guess we can do that. I might as well give them two little tiny. There's a big claws and these little tiny fingers. And some more little tiny fingers there. And I guess on the other side do the same, because if you have one hand on one side, you can have one on the other side. But shade the other one in, because it's behind this one in the front. And if we want to make it look like it's behind, put it in shadow. It's one thing that you need to be aware of. Light and dark is what makes one thing stand out away from something else. So by making it contrast between one and the other, having good light and dark on it, that's what makes one thing stand out. Now to make it look like that arm is sticking up over the top of the body, put a shadow underneath the arm cast onto the body. See that? By having that and then cast down over his tummy there, then it looks like it's sticking out away from his body. Right, now this dragon's got a big tummy and a big belly button. Over there, his wings coming down. I'm just going to give him little tiny feet. Again, he's not the kind of dragon that can walk around very easily. And another foot sticking out over here. This one at the back we shade in because it isn't shadow. If I'm drawing more carefully, I just take more time over it. But essentially, it's the lights and darks and this getting the basic shapes right. And because it's a dragon, nobody can tell you done it wrong. It's the beauty about drawing mythical creatures. There's only one way to do it, and that's your way. And that's the beauty about art, is that we've got freedom to create things in our own way. As artists license to do whatever it is we please. With this tail coming out, something back here, and might just make the tail sort of disappear. Back here with a bit of an arrow on his tail. And there we have a dragon. Oh, hang on, I didn't get this last wing here. And it's because this wing's behind the other one. We want to shade that one in a bit, because it's behind, and we said before, we'll make one thing stand out away from something else. Thing behind, put it in good shadow, and just smudge it with your finger, and it looks like it's behind. Right, essentially, you've got a little mini dragon. So thank you very much for joining us with Drawing with Bruce Potter.